Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. We mentioned in the previous session that we were in the midst of a pullback here within the current uptrending channel. The uptrending channel has been in place since the March lows. And you can see here it comes up across those lows and above those highs here. And 2700 comes in right in this zone. 2700 was where we kind of broke above recently. Failed tail here. Price broke above 2700 and held it. And yesterday we came into about 2717s on the low. Today we've gotten 17s on the low as well. So for the most part we've gotten down there and gotten near the 2711 previous week's low. But at the moment we are inside or had been inside the Pima trigger zone and are bouncing outside that zone. Is this going to be another buy the dip that leads price to new highs, or do we eventually break through 2700 and rotate a bit lower? 2430, 2440, right in that zone could be in play if we were to find a lower high and drop. So in this case, there's two key levels to keep an eye on for the ES. 2700, if there's a failure to overall hold that zone, that rotates this thing down, and 2800 on top. Because right now, if price is bouncing out of this Pima trigger zone and pushes through 2800, it's likely going to attempt to keep 2800 bid here. So watch 2800 for signs of acceptance or failure, because if there's a failure to hold 2800, that may signal that we may go test 2700 for a break. So keep an eye on both of those key levels here as we move forward for the ES. Taking a look at the NQ, you'll see the NQ is trading 85.70s right now. It also pulled back from the recent highs here. Didn't quite get the previous month's high at around 9K, and instead pulled back into the Pima trigger zone. Again, we're bouncing out of that zone right now in a bullish market, at least on a medium term basis, which suggests we could see a bounce right back up to the upside here to retest those highs, if not push through them. So again, like the ES here, we have a couple of key levels to watch. The first one down here, 8300, is going to be very important. A failure to hold 8300 would open things up back toward 7400. Now on the upside, keep an eye on 8600 here. It's coming into that zone right now. Any push through that zone and a hold could begin to push things toward the recent highs over the next 1 to 3 days. So this is going to be very important to see how it plays out here. Right now trading an inside day in both the ES and the NQ. Alright, taking a look now at crude oil. Now this one again has traded in an incredibly unbelievable manner. Not just the May crude going to -40 and back up, but this one dropping from 22.5 yesterday, 22.58, and reaching a low of 6.50 before bouncing all the way back toward 14s and closing around 13. Huge range day. If you look down here on a one-day basis, yesterday was 16 plus points. 16 plus points. That's a huge day on a one-day basis, and that looks like it is 430% of average range. Significant move right there compared to normal. So right now we're seeing, after this major sell-off, a bit of a digestive day here. Price has just broken above the $12 VWAP and has rallied just ahead of the RTH Open, and right now we could be looking at an extreme reversal candidate here. If price can remain bullish today with the close above the open, there could be a continuation play back toward the breakdown here, 18 to 19. Now again, this is a very volatile market right now. You have to be very careful. You can play the mini crude oil futures as well, but look to deleverage and look to play with a well-defined risk here, because this market has been very volatile, outside the realms of normal possibilities. So continue to watch your risk on this one. Alright, taking a look at gold lastly here. Gold is up 2.4%. We had a couple of buy zones here for this one. In the previous day, We talked about 1700 over the course of the last week, that if it can reject this level, we may see a bounce toward 1800 and that 1831 target that's above. That turned out very nice yesterday when we started to get a pretty solid rejection. On an intraday basis, we mentioned to our group that any pullback to 1685 could provide a bounce from 1685 to 18 plus, and price hit 1685 yesterday and bounced late in the day. It was a great little bounce there, and it completed the rejection tail here. Today we've seen a pullback, just a modest pullback here, and then a bounce. Again, given this behavior here, as long as price continues to hold that 1685 to 1690 zone, more upside could be seen ahead for this one, back towards 1775 up to 1800 and perhaps beyond. So continue to watch that zone. A failure to hold 1685s would suggest a failure could lead prices back to the previous month's close, between 1600 and 1575s. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.